Selima with Selene Moon Goddess Tarot here with another pick a card reading. Hopefully everybody is doing well. If you're new here, welcome. The way we do it for pick a cards is just pause the video and pick a pile that is speaking out to you. Maybe there's a design there that speaks out to you about your connection or the person on your mind, or some people use pendulums, some people just listen to them both, or usually I have 3. Today we're just going to do 2. And today's reading is going to be all about what have they realized about you in this connection. We'll see what Spirit has to say. Sometimes the way things come out are not like how I intend. We're just going to go with the flow. And then we'll have some messages for you from your person. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video. This deck is called the Celestial Dreamy Wilds Tarot. And this is the Amber Moon Tarot. All right? So go ahead and pause the video, and I will, this is going to be pile 1, and this is going to be pile 2. I will see you at your reading. All right, pile 1, hopefully you're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we are going to do a reading on what has your person realized about you. It can be romantic. It can be a situationship. It could be maybe somebody you're just kind of like in a struggle with, like it could be a family member, it could be a boss or whatever. But some of these readings most of my readings tend to turn out to be romantic. So, all right. Isn't this a pretty deck, by the way? It's kind of pink and it's all colorful. I love it, actually. Okay, let's see. Pile 1. What has pile 1's person realized about them? All right, Ace of Pentacles. I hear your gift. The Magician. Judgment. Wow. Okay, we got 2 major arcana cards already. Interesting. What has pile 1's person realized about them? All right, let's see what we got. 4 of Wands. And what is that? 6 of Pentacles. Wow. We're starting off pretty strong here. I think your person underestimated you. And I think, yeah, they underestimated you. So starting off with the Ace of Pentacles, they, the first thing I heard was like, you turned out to be a gift to them. I don't know what their impression was of you before whatever might have taken place that would make you click on this reading about what they've realized about you. But going from the Ace of Pentacles, usually the Pentacles is a gift, usually. It is something new, something, sometimes it can signify like a gift from the universe, or somebody wants to offer you something that's tangible, tangible to our reality, like so. But I think for your person, you ended up being the gift. With the magician's all about like manifesting and getting everything that you have in front of you and working with what you have, using all your tools that are available to you. So, you use your mind, your heart, your passion, your inspiration, your intellect, your problem-solving skills. Like, they have been so impressed with how much you've grown in that way. Maybe before you were somebody who, you might be somebody who can recognize problems, when recognize patterns and stuff. And sometimes before you mature a little bit to realize that, not only can you recognize problems, but you can, participate in or be the creator of the solution for those problems. And I think that is kind of where you have ascended, basically. This doesn't feel romantic yet, but just wait, because we got Judgment here. Now, Judgment is about, usually it's depicted with a bunch of people like under here, but they're usually naked, and they usually are, and there's usually an angel over them. And it, judgment is a pretty deep card because it talks about, seeking atonement for maybe mistakes that they have made with you, but not just saying I'm sorry and I won't do it again. This is more of like, I was profoundly wrong. Like, I really misjudged you, and I'm never going to treat you that way again. Like, it's that kind of realization. Yeah, it's not just like, I'm sorry, I won't do that again, or I made a mistake. No, it is like, what was I thinking? I really was ignorant to do what I did, treat you the way that I did. If they talked about you, or if they acted as though you couldn't be a solid partner. Maybe they thought you were flighty. Maybe they misunderstood your eccentric nature. They misunderstood how you walked about this earth. Maybe you're a private person. I know, like for me, I think people don't I don't have a lot of friends. So people who know me, but I think people who don't know me, they see me for, whatever the front that we put on. Maybe this person has gotten an opportunity to get to know you on a deeper level, and they're like, holy shit, I was so wrong. And then leading from the Judgment, we're going into the Four of Wands. And this is the romantic card, sort of, usually in love readings. It can mean the Twin Flame card, 1111. But really, it's about coming together for a solid, balanced partnership. Sometimes in the card, it'll have like a house and like a couple with ribbons around them kind of dancing or whatever, so it can signify a marriage also. But it is a bonding. It's a coming together and realizing that maybe you are more alike than they ever imagined. They probably thought that you guys were from two different planets, but they're sadly mistaken. They've realized, no, we're more alike than I ever imagined. Maybe on the outside you guys don't look like you would be friends or lovers or whatever the situation is, but yeah, they've realized that they were wrong, and that you guys are way more alike. And I think that was a bit humbling for them. Going into the Six of Pentacles, it is about kind of having to make a decision about where to put what you hold valuable to you, and where you want to give it. So usually here they just show the pentacles, but usually it's, somebody that has a lot of money and they are choosing to give their money to one person versus another. And so I think that they've had to make decisions about maybe they're coming to a point where they have to make a decision about now, what do they want to do? Like, now that they've had this realization, now what, right? So let's get more. So what does that mean? So tell us more then about pile one's person, please, Spirit. What's next? Nine of Wands. Right? Yeah, Nine of Wands. I always have to, I'm so silly. I'm like one of those people that still has to count on their finger, but the wands are close together. So I had to count them. All right. I'm going to put these up here so you can see them a little bit better. And then we got the Moon under the Magician. Like, this is the fourth major arcana card. So this is a powerful connection. It might be that your person's realized, maybe if you recognize patterns and you're the eccentric one, your person has probably realized that you guys are counterparts. Like, you guys are soulmates. And, soulmates, like I said, they don't have to be romantic, I mean, like, we meet many soulmates in a lifetime. Sometimes soulmates are our best friends. Sometimes they're our parents or a parent. Sometimes they're platonic friends that are of a different orientation, sexual orientation than we are, or gender. But, like an odd couple, so to speak, or an odd pairing. But the Moon, there's a lot of emotion here. I think your person is exhausted. They feel defeated, I think, in a lot of ways, and they're doing a lot of reflection. This person might not be as emotionally mature as you, So instead of kind of like, for example, taking action with this judgment, this might be something that's going on just in their mind and in their heart, and you might not have any clue. Hence why you're probably watching this reading, right? So the moon is about reflection. It's about trying to look at things that might not be as they seem. It's a dreamy card. And I find it interesting that there's wolves here, and there's just a pair of wolves. Usually there's water and like a crawfish in here. Um, I'm wondering if there's some distance in between you guys as well. Like maybe there's a reason why the communication hasn't happened. All right, tell us more. Wow. What? You guys, what is going on? The Hierophant. Okay, so those are two marriage cards. Is the Four of Wands and the Hierophant. The Hierophant can mean other things, like a teacher-student relationship. Someone is wiser. Maybe, this is falling underneath the Judgment card. Maybe they're just feeling like, oh my God, like I'm dealing with a goddess or God here. Like they thought that they had their shit together, and maybe they do in certain terms, right? Like maybe they're super professional, maybe they have high degrees, maybe they're looked up to in whatever kind of community they're in. But now that they've seen the inside of you, I think they realized how much they fall short. That actually is very humbling to realize that they're actually more of the student and not the teacher here. Yeah. So they're going to take this. They're going to do something about it. So with the Six of Swords, you know, okay, sometimes it has a negative context depending because the swords are there. And swords represent intellect, mind, thinking, um, everything that goes. It can also represent anxiety and, negative things, obsessing, depending if it's reversed or not. But I don't read reversals. So they're going to take all of this, all the swords, they're going to gather them up, get in a boat, and seek higher ground. Or not higher ground, but seek better shores. They're basically looking at the situation and saying, okay, all right. So judgment, I fucked up. I realized that pile one is the bee's knees. And I don't know why I judged them so much, but I recognized it. Now I got to do something about it. And what they're going to do is the Two of Cups. They love you. They love you. They're gonna communicate that to you, I think, in some way or form. It might be in a message. It might be in a letter. It might be. I'm not sure if it'll be in person. It might be. They might be traveling to you or want to travel to you or make plans to travel or to meet up and talk. Have dinner. Have some wine. Let's unpack all of this. Because it seems like it's been a journey, and you've been so consistent and strong and powerful, resilient. The number 4 is a very, it's like a foundation number. Can't be swayed. It's not lopsided. You know what I mean? So, okay. Okie dokie. Now, bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. That's interesting. Yeah, like I said, this has been very painful for you, pile one. I think that's really what you've been going through with this person. Maybe you held out, you like had hope into this, because sometimes, we care about people. And if you are an intuitive person or have gifts of maybe claircognizance or sentience, you can tell and feel when someone has something inside them, right? That there's an awakening that might need to happen. Maybe you're the catalyst for that. Some people have that kind of, I'm going to call it a blessing and a burden, because I've played a part in other people's lives in that way as well, where you are, you know, you share something that no one else has told them or nobody has the balls to tell them. And it changes their fucking life. It's the catalyst to make them realize that the potential to their life is limited by their own belief system. You know, like an ant believes its ant little farm is its whole planet, you know? If they stay in that little ant farm, they don't believe that there's anything else out there. It's only the ants that go work and go get the food and come back. They know. They find it. Their senses tell them where to travel. And they have no fear in doing so. They get to discover new things. And I would say that the spiritual journey is a lot like that in some ways, you know, where you sometimes, you know, develop a romantic love connection with someone and you see the potential and you feel it and you know it and you're sure about it. But the other person's functioning on a different vibration altogether and just missing it. And that's a hard thing to sit back and watch. So I'll stop yapping. Let's get some message cards. I think there's a couple. This is the one. If you're not new here, you know that some of these cards are. There's a couple of spicy ones. There's a couple repeat ones, but I made them myself, so have mercy on me. And then we'll use some of this Loving You Hurts cards. Okay. So what is pile one's person? Whoa, that came out right away. So many things remind me of you. So you guys probably are not talking, or they're not sharing that with you. Tangled between your legs. Okay. You know, that can be a intimate, like a sexual card, but it can also be just intimacy, you know, intimacy in general. Quiet moments, you know, just holding each other without speaking. Life is not as together as it seems. So that speaks a little bit to, like, on the outside, if they are like a really, you know, accomplished person, or it looks like on the outside that they have all of their, you know, shit together. On the inside, they are in shambles. Tell us more. One's person. Your love brings life into my soul. I want to make you happy. Oh, what did I say? Can I be the big spoon? Yeah, they want that quiet, intimate kind of time where you're just laying together, running fingers through each other's hair and just listening to your heartbeats, you know? So romantic. All right. What else does the person want to say? Let's get a couple more. All right. Whoa. Should I let you go? Well, we did have the Six of Pentacles, right? The decision making that they feel like they need to do. But with the Two of Cups, I feel like they've made that. I think that was the other choice. Like, should I let go or should I try to do this? Commitment scares me, but I love you. So if you were wondering why the delay? And people who, you know, what I've learned is people who are afraid of commitment. It's commitment can feel absolute, right? And I think that commitment in general, if I could just interject your reading here for a minute, like commitment is interesting because it really does. I think that it has a stigma to it, really, these days. You know, people that are super toxic demand commitment. And sometimes what they're demanding is that you give of your identity to them, or you give your private, personal time and energy to them 100% of the time. They're people who are energy vampires, people who have unrealistic expectations, narcissists, right? They can demand commitment, right? But that's not what commitment is. I mean, and so if they've been burned by people in the past that have used that word commitment as some way to entrap them, then yes, absolutely, commitment is going to be scary to them. They're going to have that negative idea of it and want to push it away. For me, I feel like commitment is more like communication and understanding, right? Like a handshake, I suppose, right? Like, okay, yes, it's about, you have to be a little bit secure in yourself, though. Like, if you're going to go about it that way, because that means that that can change. The agreement can change. But that also allows for freedom. And so if there's a lot of if there's good communication, touching base about how things are going, once an agreement that says, I like you, I am in love with you, you are in love with me, and we're agreeing on that, right? We can talk about that and let that be something that we can share back and forth, right? Okay, so that to me says commitment, right? So they're going to have to work on that on their own. They're going to have to tease that out, though, right? Find out what they feel. But once they start communicating with you, I think their eyes will be open, though, to what you've been wanting in the first place. Because ultimately, we want the best for the people that we love. That should be the goal anyway. All right, so thank you for loving me. I don't deserve you. Wow, let's make love and fall asleep together. How romantic. So cute. Okay, so this deck, I don't use it as frequently, but it's salt and peppered with, harsh truths and sweet truths. So let's see if we can get some more from your person. All right, we got a few there. This hurts so much. I am better with my mind than my heart. Ooh, preach it. We know that. You're a poor person. I'm so sorry. That's good, though. That is such an important realization. I am the man. Okay, so this card has always perplexed me in this deck. Like, what the fuck? I am the man? I don't know what that means. But I do feel, though, it is almost, and it's a little comical to me, because I think that they thought, like in the beginning when they met you, that they were the man, that they were the one in control, the man or the woman or the person, right? They thought they had this. You didn't intimidate them at all. Now you scare the shit out of them. All right, I am blocked. All right, so they're a little bit. They're still teasing this out. But I think that the major realization about you has come forward. So there is momentum going in the right direction. I was hurt by you. I don't think that you hurt them. I think that you triggered them to look at themselves. Like you were the mirror. Like you were the moon card. You were the mirror for them to look into. And I think at first they were hurt about it, because they weren't looking at the bigger picture and looking at it in the context of deep connection that's meant to provoke growth for both you and your person. You deserve better, right? They're still insecure, and I can't talk to you right now. So when I get that card, I feel like it's not that they don't want to talk. I think that there's external factors. So maybe they do have a demanding job, or maybe there's people around them that they rather keep this connection private. They might be a very private person. I can't do this right now. Wow. I wonder why they can't do this right now. You might know. If it's something you can share, put it in the comments. But if there is distance, maybe they live in another whole ass country. I mean, I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. So this is speaking to the overwhelm. Um, their heart is like their cup is pouring over because he goes, I'm better with my mind than my heart. They're going back and forth with the pain and the insecurity of realizing that they really, really judged you incorrectly. It says, I can't handle your love. And the last one is, I need to figure myself out. All right. So, yes, so your person is going through it right now, pile one. But, I think what the positive side of it is that um, the love that you have offered this person has affected their life. It has changed their perspective about people and about love, soulmates. I don't think they believed in any of that. And I even wonder whether they've ever really been in love before in their whole life. And that could be why this is just so life-changing for them and so profound, uh, like like I feel like they're depressed over this is what it feels like. So make sure, pile one, that you're loving yourself, that you're putting your energy into not just sitting and watching tarot readings all the time, but go outside, touch some grass, let the sunshine hit you, do things that make you happy. And universe is always working for everyone's highest good. And if this connection is going to arrive at a point where you're both at the same frequency, it will happen. Okay. All right. So you take care, and until next time, and thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post videos. Bye. Hey, pile two, it's Selena here with your reading. What has your person realized? We have the Amber, what is it? The Amber Blood Moon Tarot. All right, let's see what we got here. I hope you guys are doing good. All right, we're starting off strong with the King of Cups. I like that. All right. Pile two's person. What have they realized about pile two? What have they realized about pile two? Justice. I like that. Okay. Balance. Ace of Wands. All right. Okay. Seeking balance. Number 8. 8 down to 4, down to 2. Five of Wands. What's going on there? Okay, so this might be a situationship. The World. Okay, that's a positive. Okay, so with the King of Cups, starting off, they do have a lot of love for you. Okay, they really do care for you deeply. And I love the King of Cups as far as a card that represents mature love, because that's really what it is. We have the Page and we have the Knight of Cups. And some decks actually will have more than that too. They'll have like a Prince or something. But, it's just an evolution. Like it is, to the point of as high as you can go as far as emotional maturity. There is other types of archetypes inside... archetypes. Gosh, I can't talk. Inside tarot that can mean more on the side of intellect and stuff like that. But as far as emotions is concerned, this would be masculine emotions. That with the Justice. So I think that what I'm seeing here is perhaps this was a genuine type of connection where they had a genuine love and respect for you. really wanted to protect this connection. But I think they caught some passionate feelings for you here with the Ace of Wands. There was some type of epiphany of passion here. Maybe you showed a different side of yourself, and it threw them for a loop big time with the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is like misdirected passion. Passion's like all over the place. But with the world, these two things being injected into this connection has transformed their view of you. The world is major arcana, and isn't this a cool card? She has like the planet Earth in her eyeball there. But basically, it is like I kind of equate it usually with like how a caterpillar is a butterfly, but there's that huge divide of transformation that happens in the middle. That's really what the world is. The world is transitioning from that caterpillar to the butterfly. So the way that they look at you is no longer the way they used to look at you. Now that this passion is here. So an example would be that you guys were lifelong childhood friends, right? You guys grew up together, you guys played together, you guys had your parents know each other, like that kind of shit. And then all of a sudden they realize that you're stunning, that you're so attractive, like they have fallen for you. And it might have been something you've done, something you said, or just by just existing. Okay, so let's get more. How romantic. I mean, of course, if this is like reciprocated, I suppose it's romantic. If not, it's kind of creepy. Sorry. Oh, we got the Ace of Cups. All right, so we have two aces. Ace of Cups. So they're considering sharing this truth with you. They're realizing that and maybe in their mind they thought that like love is sacred and should be protected, and it's separate than lust. Lust surely can't be the same thing, or you can't lust someone and also love them. And I think what with this Ace of Cups is that they're realizing that, oh, wait, I actually not only have the lust for pile 2, I'm sorry, the love for pile 2, that the king was representing, that was being protected with justice, but now I can still love pile 2. Tell us more. Knight of Cups. Okay, so this is a new. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. It's that I'm feeling all of these things and thinking all of these things. Like when I sit in your person's energy, it's like it feels exuberant, like one of those teenage crushes where you are so damn giddy and can't contain yourself because you just, nothing this person can do, nothing that pile 2 can do would turn your person away. Like nothing you could do would turn him away. Like you could be sweaty from the gym, you could be having tummy troubles. I mean, it doesn't matter. They would be like, I got you, boo. That it's that kind of, and it's hard for them to contain and rein in all of these feelings, because we've got this kind of erratic passion happening here, and now the discovery that it is coupled with love almost makes it combustible, if that makes sense. That's what it feels like. Yeah. All right. Tell us more, please. Or let's get all of them. Whatever else. Ooh. Wow. Ooh. These cards are so pretty. I've had them for a while now, but I still think they're pretty every time I use them. So we have the 9 of Swords. So initially when they realized this kind of epiphany of passion for you, it created a lot of anxiety. So you might have had a time period where your person was acting kind of weird, not talking to you, pulling back. That's because they were stressed out. They were like, I don't even know what to do with all of this pent up energy and this realization. I haven't told pile two. And then we have the tower. It was so, yeah, a tower is another kind of card similar to the world, but it's tearing down old systems, old belief systems, old ideas of how maybe perhaps social constructs are set up with love, or not just love but lust, the kind of example that I'm thinking of is, and this might be your case, is that, like the whole MILF thing, right? Where it's easy for another person to find a woman who is a mother attractive, right? In fact, some people prefer that because not only are they mature in love and in romance and intimacy, they also have snacks usually or know how to cook. Anyway, I'm just saying, okay? All right, anyway, so those particular people don't have if you've ever heard of the Madonna complex, where some men, they get married and their wives are just, the purest, beautiful little thing they could ever even imagine, delicate little flower. And they have no problem having passion for them and being lustful and wanting to have sex all the time and all of that. But then when they have children with their spouse, they suddenly can't reconcile the lust part anymore. It's almost like that dies for them in their mind, in their psyche, because, you can't, obviously, it's almost like now they're too good for sex. Now they're too good they lift them up too high, or in the sense of like they put them on a pedestal that's very tied into religion and tied into purity. And so then the sex life kind of hits the toilet, and they don't find their wife attractive anymore in that way, because they now have this complex about, well, she's the mother of my kids. I can't ask for a blowjob, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's silly to me because you've already made another human being. Like, what more is there to discover? Like, why not just enjoy each other's bodies, right? But, that's, again, with all the way society is, it's pretty annoying. But so I think that the tower, coupled with the world and now the way that they view you, they're realizing that, what did my dog just do? Oh, I thought my dog just shut the door. Did you hear that? That little growl? That was not a growl. That was a snort from my Frenchie, Bobby. So the Princess of Coins. So you guys might be, I wonder if you're younger than this person. You might be younger than this person. Now the Princess of Coins is just like the Knight of Coins, but with more creative energy, more feminine, creative, compassionate, empathetic energy. Where I would say if I had to choose between like the Prince or Princess of Coins, the Princess of Coins would be more apt to communicate what she's thinking and feeling. So your person sees a future with you and sees you as somebody that is dependable, kind, creative, smart, but now attractive. Now they have all of these new delicious feelings about you that they did not expect. Like, look at this beautiful, beautiful person here. The lips, the hair, just luxurious in every sense of the word. Decadent is the word that comes to mind. Now because they see you in this new light, now you are more decadent. Now you're more in 3D, right? Like before they saw you as the 2D person they grew up with, and now you're like in 4K, okay? You did what did you do to your person? Pal 2, what the hell did you do to this poor person? Jesus. let's get a little, I want to get a little bit more information, okay? A little bit more info on this. What's coming next? What is going to be their person's, pile two's person's next step? Their next step. Okay. Thank you. Oh, this came out in pile one. The Two of Cups. Y'all, look at that. I have a feeling this might be a same gender, same sex connection. Or let's just say a rainbow connection, rainbow tribe connection. Their next step is to communicate this. This is a step up from the Ace of Cups, right? This is communicating, that first of all, I think that they know that you love them. And you might be here because you've been having, like, you had this epiphany a long time ago, maybe about your person. And now you're like, it's about time, they came around the corner and they want to communicate that. You guys both fill each other's cup. There's equal, reciprocal giving and admiration and respect and kindness and consideration that they want to share with you. And they fantasize about you. They just sit there all day long and fantasize about you. They're in love with you. They're in love with you, girl. I don't know. You might not be a girl, but whatever. You know what that means, right? I mean, it's like they are head over heels. Head over heels. I think that maybe it could have been like the last component to. Oh my God! Look, under the deck, the bottom of the deck is the sun. Yeah, you're their wish fulfillment. You are everything. They are head over heels in love with you. And I don't know if hopefully there's communication between you guys. Maybe they're just a thinker. Maybe there's somebody that holds all of this passion to themselves and they're not somebody that really, easily talks about this. This might be something that they like to keep very private, but they are absolutely in love with you. Okay, so let's get messages. All right, from my homemade ghetto deck that I always use here on this channel. Okay. All right. What is pile two's person's messages to pile two, please? Whoa. Look at that. I want to be brave and share my heart. Aww. Que lindo. That's so sweet. Tell us more. These are flying out. Aw, thank you for being patient with me. Oh, I love that for you, pile two. I made a mess of this. Okay, so yeah, maybe you did know ahead of time and they've been lollygagging or whatever the fuck that word is. I don't even talk like that. I don't know why. Lollygagging? I don't even know I know I'm not saying it right and I don't even know what the history of that word is, so never mind. Let's just scratch that. Okay. I listened to your voicemail over and over. Okay, so you might have a very sultry voice or deep voice, or they're just, because they're so in love with you, it's like candy to their ear. What else, Spirit? For pile two, their person. I'm so sorry for hurting you. Okay, so remember we were talking about the Nine of Swords, how I felt like maybe when they had this realization that they pulled away from you, maybe, or you're not in contact, because this one says, I feel life feels empty without you. So if you are in communication and they're saying life feels empty without you, it could be that the emptiness is that they have this truth that they want to share, that they're feeling blocked in their own mind, like they're their own worst enemy here, and not telling you, not freeing themselves, right, from their own cage. Let's meet somewhere secret. Will you give me a chance? Aww. And are you happy without me? Well, obviously you're not. If you're watching this, you're not happy without them, but they need to speak their truth to you in order to, get this show going, you know? All right, let's see what we got here. Let's get some more. These are loving you hurts oracle. So some of they're kind of salt and peppered with some spicy messages, deep messages, and then messages that are just painful. So let's see what they say. What else? Let's pile through. Choose person. I want to say. I can't take it anymore. And that's on this. Okay, and this deck, these burgundy cards are the spicy cards. So you drive them nuts. They have a lot of passion for you. And I told you that too. Like they don't know what to do with this. Sex with you. So that's what I think what they fantasize about. We got the Seven of Cups there. Your person, I wouldn't be surprised if they pleasure themselves at the thought of you. Because now it's like this new horizon, to explore. Here's another one. Oh, they have hurt me. They have hurt me. Huh. They have hurt me. Who's they? Well, I'm wondering if, okay, it could be two things. It can be either they representing what they learned about love in general, lust, all of that, growing up, like their ideas and what they absorbed from, society and family and all of that, religion, if that's the case, has hurt this connection. Because now they found love. They're like, wow, this is really fucked up. I got a lot of work to do to undo this shit. I should have seen this a long time ago. Like, why am I this? Maybe you guys are older, or maybe they're older than you. Why am I this old? Never have realizing this before. And the other simpler possibility is that they dated someone that identified as they. That has really fucked up their idea of love. Will this ever change? Okay. So they're feeling a little hopeless and insecure about their ability to grow out of, to get to the point, to let go of their fears so that they can tell you how they feel. Oh, bingo. I'm blocked. Yeah. They're feeling blocked. And, a lot of times when people feel blocked, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I feel like, we have preconceived notions of what good and bad is, don't do that, that's bad. If you say that, that would be bad. Or do this would be better. It's all based on experiences that we've all had in the past, right? But our brains, our ego, our brain wants to protect us from things that will hurt us. But the only information it has is the past. It's kind of like AI, right? Like AI can only tell you what it's been fed. Okay? The more you feed it, the more it'll learn, and then the more it can educate, right? But it's very limited, right? It could be brilliant, but also limited. So like your life skills and what you learn about survival can be brilliant, but also it can be very stupid. In the sense of it keeps you in a cycle of just like a hamster wheel, doing the same thing over and over again, avoiding this, avoiding that, so that you stay safe, but then you never get an opportunity to be brave. And with bravery comes the tower moments, comes the times where, former ideas get torn down and new ones get built, inspiration and passion live with bravery. And if you don't do it scared, then you're never going to do it, right? There's never a good time. Like I remember years ago, like they say, you're never ready to have children. There's never a perfect time to have children. because children will disrupt your life no matter what. You can have a happy accident, or you could plan until the day is long, freeze your eggs and do the whole 9 yards. It doesn't mean that they're not still going to completely deconstruct your life and reconstruct it day by day after that. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your person. Realize that some of this is their fault. Like, some of this is them, not the lack of their vision to think outside of the box and what they've learned in the past. And all you can do is really send love to them and encourage them to think outside of the box, to do things that might really, really be scary, but end up being the best thing that's ever happened to them. Okay? I don't know who I am anymore. There you go. If that's not a tower moment, I don't know what is. So there might be going through a dark night of the soul, like a complete transformation. You've been the catalyst here. And I've noticed that lately, a lot of feminines in the collective, doesn't matter gender, feminine, are becoming catalysts for masculines, in that we're trying, like, collectively, we want masculines to develop and grow emotionally. And we're finding that they are stunted in so many ways because of the old structure of how things have been the past 70 years, right? And women have already kind of swooped in to discover what can be done different so we can have our kind can survive, okay? I know it sounds so dramatic. Isn't it dramatic? It could be a fucking movie. I'm sure there's a movie out there somewhere like that. I'm sure. I could think of one, a couple of them actually. But what I mean to say is that you're not the only one, pile two, that's going through this. Many people in the collective are going through the same thing. Okay, people don't believe in me. Okay, so their specific issue with a group of people or their family. Maybe you guys have a strict culture where dating, for example, outside of their culture might be frowned upon, or it's a religion, dating outside of the religion is frowned upon. Maybe you don't fit the norm and they feel like, or they just simply are just, I think that too, what's coming to me is sometimes people are raised in an environment where thinking about deep thoughts, like your person might be a deep thinker, and they were teased about being a deep thinker or early on. And so if they were to come back and say what they've discovered, like, they can't share this with other people. They don't have people in their life that they could share this. They would tease them and be like, oh, you're stupid. Oh, you're so emotional. You always have been. Or you can't do that. You can't get her or him. Pile two is not going to ever go for you. I don't know why you would ever think that, like that kind of shit. And this came out in pile one, I am the man. I've always thought this was a very weird card. And I never really understood it. This deck doesn't have like a guidebook, but I think that it speaks to a front or an arrogance that they kind of put on. You would never know all of these insecurities. You see how all of this, I thought we were going to get some spicy ones. We got one, but really it's all about like insecurity. They're just like, eh. Well, and it could be why we kind of digressed a little bit with the King of Cups to the Knight of Cups. Once they realized their passion for you, it's like they kind of like shrink a little bit, making room for this lust, right? They've got to now make room for this lust, but also the insecurity. Let's get two more. You poor person. Oh, pile two. Poor little pumpkin. All right. My heart goes out to everyone out there struggling that have a hard time communicating, because it doesn't minimize the passion that one feels in their heart. But, there's a reason why there's poets, right? They wrote their shit down. They didn't scream it from a mountain. The heart is a deep place, and to not be able to communicate that is almost a sense of, it's like purgatory, Oh. And then, okay, drugs and alcohol. They might be escaping in that. Ay, ay, ay. As I was talking about purgatory and feeling like you're in a jail, right? Ay, ay, ay. I was hurt by you. Oh my God, don't make me get all spicy and defend you, pile two, because I'm about to tell your person they need to shut the fuck up. Okay, so, all right, let me be more mature. What I'm going to say is that maybe you did hurt them. Maybe you were like, you know what, dude? Maybe you were the first one that came and said, I have a crush on you. And they were cold and said, I'm sorry you feel that way. I am not interested in you, and turned you away. And then you were like, okay, well then, bye. And then you went off and did your whole thing and lived your life and grew and matured. And they might have seen all your selfies on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you post. Snapchat, right? And internally, because they're a little like verbally constipated, they didn't tell you that they actually really do have all this passion and feelings for you, and they got pee-pee hurted. Okay, we should just leave it there. All right, Pile 2, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I hope you enjoyed it. I have tons of other videos if you want to go check it out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you're notified when my videos come out or when I post them. And yeah, I really wish you guys the best in your journey. Don't forget to love yourself, okay? Because through loving yourself, you are a light out to other people in the world. You're a light to your person, and you heal yourself all at once, okay? So take care of yourself. Until next time, bye.